For years, I bought into the grind. I reached the milestones the industry holds up as the standard: a 400-pound deadlift, a 285-pound back squat, and a 230-pound bench press. But that's where I hit the wall. I entered intermediate purgatory. The industry's answer to this plateau is always the same: buy a new program, take more supplements, just work harder. But for the natural trainee, that's a lie. We look at elite lifters and think we just need to mirror their intensity, but we're ignoring the variables we can't see: elite genetics and chemical enhancement. Those outliers have a recovery capacity that allows them to push through the ceiling into the advanced or elite ranks. For the rest of us, the 99% trying to follow that blueprint is a recipe for disaster. My cortisol was pinned, my muscle growth had flatlined, and I was working at 100% capacity just to stay soft, tired, and inflamed at 195 pounds. I realized I wasn't failing the system was failing my biology. I didn't need more grinding, I needed a different mentality. We've been conditioned to believe that strength is an infinite curve, but the reality is a law of diminishing returns. Once you hit that upper intermediate level, once you've unlocked 85% of your genetic muscle potential, the price for that last 15% becomes too high. To chase elite numbers as a natural trainee is to trade your heart, your joints, and your longevity for a trophy that won't help you at age 70. At this stage, strength is no longer the primary objective. Sustainability is. I realized that my 400-pound deadlift was a milestone, not a lifestyle. The goal shifted from how much can I lift to how long can I last. I stopped looking at my bench press and started looking at the three pillars that actually determine your expiration date: fueling, electrical, and cooling. If those systems aren't optimized, your strength is just a house of cards. That is why I developed A.R.T, Adaptive Resistance Training. This isn't another program to be conquered. It is a biological management system. We've moved the goalposts. We aren't training for the ego of the lift. We are training for the strength to health ratio. A.R.T strips away the subjective noise of feeling like you need to work harder and replaces it with objective telemetry. We monitor the three pillars: fueling, electrical, and cooling, as strictly as a flight crew monitors a cockpit. If the diagnostics, the resting heart rate, and chassis integrity say the system is redlining, we don't push through, we recalibrate. I stopped being a grinder and became the architect of my own longevity. The result? I transitioned from being plateaued and inflamed at 195 pounds to a leaner, recovered 185 pounds, with more explosive power than I had when I was grinding 6 days a week. We've replaced the ugly cycle for clinical precision. I've spent the last 12 months as the primary test subject. The results are undeniable. The inflammation is down, the power output is up, and I'm operating at a leaner 185 pounds with a resting heart rate that rivals an elite endurance athlete. But this system isn't for everyone. It requires a level of honesty that most grinders can't handle. Before you can build, you have to audit. You have to prove the chassis is actually capable of handling the load. In the next transmission, we move past theory and begin the first diagnostic in the A.R.T manual: the Alactic Foundation. This is where I explain how to generate massive power without tapping into the waste of the glycolytic system.